Hello everyone! Today I'm going to talk to you about how to create the accessories for this teardrop shaped camper. So we have the tree, we have the storage unit, we have chairs, you can make as many chairs as you want, and we have the fire. So the tutorial is going to walk you through how to create all of those, as well as, if you want the link to the teardrop shaped camper, that will be in the comment section, or you can go to the shop and there should be a link there as well. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Today we're going to create a storage box. This specific design is created for the camper as an accessory to the camper. So this is the back, bottom, and lid, and this will allow your lid to flip up. This is the top and lid, as well as the side. Today we're just going to use craft glue to assembly. So bring up all of your tabs, and again, these are tiny tabs designed to fit in this little tiny space. Bend these up and bend this up, and just start your assembly. Want to kind of click that into the corner and then build around. If you want to curl this before you start, that's probably going to be better for constructing this. Give it a little bit of a bend already, so you don't have to create that bend later. And then start gluing. And if you find that craft glue isn't working on these small tabs, feel free to use a glue gun. Because these are so tiny, I'm actually doing a lot more than I did for the camper, so these are going much quicker. Woo. So honestly, I would just put craft glue on all your tabs and just place them all at once. Okay. I switched out to a different glue, Scotch craft stick, which works a lot better. It's a little messier because it's older, but it sticks. So we're going with it. And again, kind of bend the top a little. You want to get that bend there so that it fits well with the lid. And then just bend it down. Set that aside, and now we're going to assemble the lid, which is the same concept. Basically, you just want to bend down all of these tabs. This is slightly larger than this, so it will sit on there just fine. I made it a little bit bigger so that we could do this and have a nice clean lid. So you'll just want to place this as such. So I'm going to do the tabs again, but you can do that one if you want. Whichever one you feel like taping. Get those ends to stick. And again, we want that 90-degree angle, so we want to make sure that as we glue it down, we get that 90-degree angle going. Just place, curve in place. Again, this is much stickier than the Elmer's glue, but it works. So just make sure you go all the way around. Hold the ends. And now you have a lid. So the only thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this. Again, I'm just going to push this down a little bit so that it actually closes. We want it to really be, you know, closed more. So just make sure that it's folded enough to do so. And we're going to do the top of this. Oops. In place. And then that gives you a functioning lid, little functioning box with attached lid. Now, this can be purely decorative because it does fit nicely. But what it's intended for is decoration. So we would want to glue it here, and then if you wanted to, you could put a little pop dot here and put it there, and then you could, you know, use it to close it temporarily. I'm just going to hold that on there so it gets glued. And then I am going to use a pop dot. I may have to make this smaller than it already is. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to cut this in half. And then I'm just going to place this right here. A little hard to tell, but try and get it centered. You could even go smaller than this. In fact, I think I'm going to go smaller than this. I'm going to cut it into fourths. Tiny detail work. If you happen to have a pick-me-up, you could use that as well. Just going for the hands today. And then there you go. So that is the closed storage unit for the camper. And now you can, with Pop Dot, if you don't put it on too much, you can take it off. So the next thing that we're going to build today is the chair. So you have the structure and the backs, and we're just going to fold these back to it's really tiny, and these are the same size, so it doesn't matter what goes where. And then basically you're just going to glue one right here and glue one right here so that you have a chair. I'm just going to do one side at a time. Try and make it straight. And then press. Again, you can put some pressure on it. And now we're going to place this one. So again, fold this back. Put some glue. Make sure it's the right way. Make sure it's the right way. And we want to move this up just a little. We want this to kind of be centered up here. So and then place. And so now we have one side of the chair. And now we put the other side on. So this one I think I'm going to try and place at the same time. We're going to see if this works. Okay. Make sure it's the correct way. And try and, oops. Get it even. Again, we want a relatively stable chair. And there you have it. Now, you have a chair. You can make one more of these if you want to. You can make several if you want a whole, whole set. So it's fairly easy to assemble, but it looks amazing. So just enjoy. The final thing that we are going to assemble is the fire. So this is a 3-section fire. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half very carefully. These are very small dashes. This is a small piece. But fold all these in half. And what you'll notice is that 2 look the same and 1 looks different. And so for the 2 that are same, you want to take and you want to put the same sides together. You want to glue that. And then you come and you put the 3rd one in here. Make sure it's the right size, right? So these sides go together, and then the 3rd one comes on the other side. So just make sure you pick the right 3 sides, and then you form your fire. And then the rest of these come in and layer on top. Might be a little tight, so play with it first. This is where some tweezers might be good, or pick me up. And again, there's a specific way to assemble it, so you just want to make sure that you're assembling it the correct way. So the first thing we're going to do, again, we're going to check these orange ones, make sure we're lining them up correctly, and then we're going to glue these together. So there's one part of your fire, and then you build the rest. Now these are meant to line up at the bottom, so it should be fairly easy to place. And you also want to make sure you're folding them correctly. I did fold that one incorrectly. So just make sure that the fold is going the right way to fit with the fire. It's going to look amazing once it's done. But you do have to layer it correctly. Then I did the, whoops. Also, make sure you put it on correctly. Put the wrong one on. Okay, so this one goes over here. Okay, I'm giving you guys examples, and I'm not following my own advice and checking before I put these on here. Okay, there we go. And then the final one, again, make sure that it's going the right way. And it is. Go. Layer 3. It's the red ones. Just make sure it's on the right one. Again, 2 look the same and 1 does not. But again, this is fire, so honestly, it's okay what it looks like. You can mix and match. In fact, I think I might just do that. I think it'd be so cool. Heck yeah. It is fire. It's 3D. So do what you want. Build how you want. You know what? If you didn't do what I just did, you would have different flame lengths in here and it would be wonderful. So I suggest that you just put them together and they don't have to look the same. The only thing I do suggest is try and keep the bottom the same, because then you'll put these little guys on. Oh, that looks so cool. Now we just put these on. Now these do go on a certain way, so you just want to make sure that they are the correct way. So these, again, there's two that are the same, one is different. I don't know that it matters, but we're going to check. I mean, it matters in the design, but does it matter on here is the question. And I don't, honestly, I don't think it does. So feel free to place as you want. Oh, glue is a little. Anyways. Last set of rocks. And there you have it. A 3D fire. How cool is that? The final accessory we have for the camper is this tree. And I designed a really fluffy tree is what I'm going to say. As you can see, this is a 3D. This is, I designed it for 6. We're going to test 6, possibly even 8 to see how fluffy I can get it. This is 65-pound cardstock. So this is thinner cardstock. And I chose that specifically because I think I can get a pretty thick tree out of this. And so that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to fold these and we will come back. Okay, now that we have our trees, we are going to put them together. So I'm just going to start assembly. I really want the points to line up. So I'm going to match those up first, and then that should help me line everything else up. Then I'm just going to do the same thing. Kind of like an accordion. Press those together. And you can start to see it's already forming well. Next one. Okay, and again, lining up the center. Oops. And pressing. This one's only going to have 6, so stop here. If you want to add more, you can. For a more fuller tree. Sorry, I'm probably getting in the way. Apologies if I am. Okay, so now we're going to glue this last set together. And if you were lucky enough, it will line up a little bit better than mine. But you know what? It's a tree. Does it have to look correct? Honestly, it doesn't. Trees grow in all different kinds of ways. So, oops. Try not to get glue everywhere, like I just did. Press these together. And now you can spread them apart. And as you can see, you now have a 3D tree. Again, I think 8 would look spectacular in this tree. It would be even more full than it is. But I went with 6 today. So just kind of spread them out. Like as you can see, one side's a little bit more full than the other. So just try and get that hexagon shape. Might be easier on the bottom to see what you're doing so that it gets evenly spaced. And then once you have that, you can set your tree up. Oops. And so these are the 4 accessories to the camper.
Thank you for stopping by and watching my video. If you want to find this and other products, please check out my Etsy store in the description below. I also included some links to my favorite crafting and planning supplies, if interested. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified when I upload my next video. I would also love to see your finished products, so please post them in the comments. See you next time.